They had concluded by '76 that some of these visitors very well might be multidimensional in their source. The evidence that we had collected and the evidence that they had repeatedly demonstrated to us, and that's no accident. It became very clear after a time that there was a program or a process of some kind underway, that they had demonstrated over and over and over again that they apparently were able to manipulate matter and time.
Then they all disappeared.
Now this really shook up our scientists.
4 objects in the north, brightly colored, changing from elliptical to round, and moving at very high speed and sharp angular movements as though they were doing a grid search. While we were watching them, somebody else noticed to the south there were 2 objects just sort of hovering in the sky. One object approached us at very high speed, best guess is 3,000 to 5,000 feet, somewhere in that neighborhood, stopped directly overhead and sent down a concentrated beam at our feet. It was about 1 foot in diameter. The best way I can equate it is sort of a laser beam. We stood there in awe. Was this a warning? Was this an attempt to communicate? Was this a weapon or just a probe? Just as suddenly as it appeared, click, it disappeared.
This latest video that we have is extremely interesting. And I want you to tell us at home whether or not you think this is an abduction.
Take a close look at this. Field of cows.
Well, how do you explain that then? There you go.
Yep. That's an abduction.
That is definitely an abduction.
Intelligences from somewhere else, from other dimensions, coming and going into our reality. It's been quite a shakeup in traditional science. I guess I speak out openly and bluntly about this because I feel so strongly about it. I violate my security oath every time I speak about it. I do it intentionally and I do it on purpose, because I feel so strongly that the American people not only have a right to know the truth, but they have a need to know the truth. The truth, Don, apparently is simply this, that we're not alone, we've never been alone. We are apparently part of an infinite universe filled with intelligent life. Historical evidence indicates that they've been with us a long time. Don't like the word alien. I don't think the term alien is appropriate at all here. They had a hand in our being here. And I think the time has come where we're about to meet our extended family. It's going to be very soon, and the people are not ready. And one of the reasons I do speak out so bluntly and so openly is if in some small way I can help people get prepared for this.
A UFO hovers over one of the holiest sites in Islam, the Dome of the Rock on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, the spot where the Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven, built on top of a site sacred to Judaism. An American woman takes it all in her stride, seen it all before.
We've seen them in Mississippi like this, but never like never like this.
Easily dismissed as a hoax until you see this. The same event, or so it seems, filmed from a different angle by someone else. The glowing ball of light dropping until it hangs just over the Dome of the Rock. These spectators a little more impressed.
Whoa!
לא, לא, כולנו רואים את זה.
מה זה? 5 עיניים.
שיו!
יואו! רוד, בלין. מה זה?
מה זה, אמא?
מה זה, ראית? יו בנברות. ראית את זה?
תראה, שם עוד.
תראי שמה. מה זה?
אימא'לה דור.
ג'ודאיזם, מה זה? זה סמלים.
People in American Fork and Highland reported some strange happenings in last night's sky.
They did, and they want to know what was hovering over that area between 7:15 and 7:30 last night. ABC4's Barb Smith is taking action to find out what it was, Barb.
Robert and Karen, they tell us that they saw lights, but those lights were not from an airplane or a helicopter, and these lights dropped something as they hung low over the sky.
Lynette Chittister doesn't believe in close encounters. Neither does Mike Galbraith.
And when people tell me this, I think, oh, you know, you're just seeing things or people are making things up.
But last night, both saw something in the sky that they can't explain. Mike was in the Air Force and says the lights hovering in the sky were unlike any he had seen. He was outside a shopping center in American Fork, grabbed his cell phone, and took this video.
But I looked up and there was 3 red lights, and then they started dropping, it looked like flares or something bright was dropping straight down.
I noticed over the roof of the garage a red light and a white light.
It looked like they were flying in formation perfectly together, and then whatever was dropping looked like it was burning real
If
bright.
you have more video or information, go to our website at abc4.com and look for the orange box.
What would they be?
I don't know. They could be like balloons.
They might drop another.
What are they, really? I have no idea what they are. See, he's dropping a red, white something. They're probably bombs heading towards my home.
We're all dead.
I should not be filming this. They're in a white
Just
over
about
there.
to die. Yes, I did.
What is it? I don't know.
There's a big, that's...
And I don't hear any noise, so it's not like a helicopter.
People doing their Halo training. But I don't see why they would be Halo training.
The ball suddenly shooting off as if disturbed. If it's a hoax, it's very well done.
My topside security guard called me on the telephone and reported a bright light that is a fully illuminated round object. One of the people with me noticed some objects in the sky to the north. There were 3 or 4 objects in the north, brightly colored, changing from elliptical to round. It was hovering silently over the missile silo and shining a light
moving at very high
down
speed.
onto it.
And I don't hear any noise, so it's not like a helicopter.
The lights were without sound and did not belong to any plane or helicopter he was familiar with from his military experience. And he says what was being dropped were not flares.
They usually shoot out of the sides or they shoot down, and there's a lot of them. And you could definitely hear them.
Lynette's husband once manufactured military flares. He agreed what was being seen was not a military exercise. But what was it?
Once we have accepted it and understood it and gone beyond the fear, will bring about an expansion of consciousness in the human race.
You see, the American people are totally out of the loop.
Conspiracy theory to negate any good information that's out there. Does that mean that every conspiracy theory is a theory, or are there real conspiracies? I think we all know the answer to that.
The United States government knew a whole lot more about UFOs than it was telling the American public.
The general public are still blissfully unaware of it.
The government has obviously been lying to us.
When I found out there were 8 presidents before George Washington, I wanted to smack somebody. You know, I wanted to know why I was taught otherwise.
I feel so strongly that the American people not only have a right to know the truth, but they have a need to know the truth.
It's time to speak out and go public with these things. Most of the conversation I hear on the internet and on the radio is foolishness. What I've told you is true. If you've noticed, I'm not selling anything. In fact, I didn't want to do this for years and years, and here I am because it's time. It's time to speak out. It's time to be doing things. As we make it through each day, we should give thanks to God that we've made it another day. There are no guarantees.
Prophecy is what we all have to go by now.